Good afternoon. I have the opportunity to introduce Thomas Lewis for his knee speech, and I had a really good time with him this year. I didn't know Thomas all that well coming into 8th grade. I'd seen him around, he was quiet, but as I've gotten to know him, he's just a really good guy. He loves sports. He loved being with his friends. And he's just he's good. In our advisory, he has always helped include other people, and which is nice when playing games and things. His academics have really come along. Like this year, I think he's really figured out who he is and what he wants to do and how to get better at things and focus. I'm excited about him going into high school, and I think he's going to be really successful in his life. He's just good guy, really good guy. So good luck.
When it feels scary to jump, that is exactly when you jump. Oscar Isaac. Hello, my name is Thomas Lewis. What this quote means to me is that don't sit around and wait for yourself to get more comfortable when something's scary, because you'll be stuck in the same spot for a long time if you do that. I've tried to apply this quote to my life whenever I can. I value new opportunities and try to take advantage of as many as possible. You need to always be moving forward. Try new things, even if they seem scary. By taking opportunities, you can create better ones for yourself. Never stay in the same place, always keep moving forward. I started playing baseball when I was 5. I played baseball as my main sport for 8 years. I always loved it and I wanted more. I played for St. Matthews Little League for 4 years, and I started looking for a travel team to play on. I found one called the Louisville Storm. I played with that team for 1 season. We were not that good. When the season ended, I found out that I got cut from that team. I wasn't happy with that, so I practiced. The next few months, I felt like something changed and I got a lot better. I tried out for a team called the Vipers. I made that team. I played with that team for 3 seasons and I had a great time. Last fall, I left the team once the tournament season was over. I left because it took up every weekend from March till into the summer, and I got burnt out and I lost my passion to play. The main reason I quit was so I could play golf. My parents signed me up for golf clinics when I was younger, and I hated doing them. I'd always dread going to them and wish I didn't have to play golf. That changed this summer. I began playing almost every day last summer with my friend Lee. I established love for the game. We would go up to LCC, the golf course we belong to, almost every day. We would play till dark and eat dinner. Last summer I made better relationships with the pros at LCC and other kids. In the beginning of the summer, I was not that good. I worked as hard as I could to get better. I started hitting the ball straighter, farther, and harder. This made the game a lot more fun. I started swinging the club hard, and I'm sitting at 100 miles an hour a little higher right now. This probably means nothing to anyone who doesn't play golf, but it's pretty good. However, this didn't come right away. I started losing weight 7 months ago, and I've made a lot of progress since then. Getting stronger has benefited my golf game in many ways, and being able to hit the ball far gives you a major advantage over somebody who can't do that. Lee, Scott, Charlie, and I have gone together and played. Sometimes we would play for a little money and have some fun with it. I've had many great times with these guys, and I'm glad that we all get to play together. I've been working with the head pro at LCC. He gives me a lesson almost every week, and Lee and I usually eat lunch after that, and then we go to the clinic from 1 to 3 p.m. Sometimes we even stay after and play 9. Those days are really busy, but they're really fun. I recently have dedicated a lot of time towards golf, and sometimes it shows and sometimes it doesn't. I played in my first tournament last week, and I did not have the best score, but it was good to get the experience. Golf is one of the hardest sports. It's a very mental game. If you can keep your thoughts under control, you'll be pretty good. And there's always something you can get better at. When I started 6th grade at collegiate, I was not good at math. I was just in the standard 6th grade math class. I never thought anything of it. In 7th grade, I went to bridge algebra. I felt like it wasn't benefiting me. I was getting good grades without having to try hard. After the first quarter, I talked to Mr. Franco, our 7th grade math teacher, about moving up classes. We talked about it for a while, and we came to the conclusion of letting me move up classes. At the start of the 2nd quarter, I found myself in Algebra A. I had a good class with some friends. I had some help at the beginning, but I caught up. I felt that it was an appropriate class for me. It was not easy, but I didn't have to work hard. I didn't have to work myself to death to understand the concepts we were learning. Now I'm taking Algebra B, and I do pretty well in class. If I didn't move up, I would have been holding myself back. And I have never liked English that much. I've done well in it, but I never took much interest in it, but that changed this year. Mr. Beasley makes class fun and engaging, and I've enjoyed English this year, and I've gotten better grades in the class because I've taken more interest in it. And I've learned a lot at collegiate, and it has pushed me to become a better student. When I came to collegiate, I knew Lee. He was my only friend when I started off. I was shy and nervous to meet new people, and for a while I didn't have many friends. I eventually got over that fear, and I realized there was no reason to be nervous. I started making more friends, and I got more comfortable with the kids in my advisory. I started acting myself and talking more. I made some friends, and it was summer. I came into 7th grade with friends, but I made much better relationships with my friends that year. I became friends with the new kids. They were Henry, Teddy, and Scott. They are now some of my close friends. I also became friends with Trey, Patrick, Nehemiah, Jude, and Sia. I've always been the closest with Lee, and we have been friends for years before I came to collegiate. We went on a few vacations together, which were a lot of fun, and I had a really fun time with my friends in 7th grade, but I made some more friends in the summer after 7th grade with some kids who don't go to collegiate. I've had the most fun with my friends this year. Even though the year isn't over, I've had so many fun times with them, and the part I had the most fun at is my lunch table. There's always something funny. We haven't had one day where it isn't funny unless the teacher's standing behind us. I always have fun during advisory, and I have Charlie, Jack, Andrew, and Henry. We have fun in the morning and afternoon advisory. I've become closer and followed them this year, and I played golf with Charlie, and Jack and I have been to the gym together. I got to talk to Andrew and Henry more, and I'm really happy with how many friends I have, and I enjoy hanging out with all of them so much. And now I try to make as many friends as I can. I went to Francis Parkville School from 1st to 5th grade. I had 3 friends. There were only about 25 kids in my grade, and I was friends with everyone who I wanted to be friends with. The other kids just weren't my type. I had a good time with my friends, but I eventually wanted to have more. My best friend there could hardly ever hang out after school, which is also a reason for me leaving. We had a thing called child groups, where you'd be with the same kids in every single class every day. It would be really fun if you're with your friends, but if you weren't, it was really bad. In 5th grade, I got sick of only having a few friends, and I felt like the teachers were against me too. I wasn't the best student, I goofed off a lot with my friends, and I decided I wanted to change. My friend Lee brought me to Birmingham to hate collegiate, then later in the school year I shadowed it. I liked it, and I decided I wanted to go there, and my parents applied me to collegiate. Later in the 5th grade school year, COVID hit the US, and I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. My friends and I thought we'd be out for 2 weeks or so. After being out of school for 2 weeks, my parents told me that we would be doing online school for a while. We had to do online school from March to end of the school year. The summer passed. Collegiate was supposed to be in person, but right before school started, Collegiate emailed us that we'd be doing online school. I was disappointed. We did online school for about 2 months, and when we came back to school, I got to meet new kids. It was hard to make friends though, because I couldn't meet them when the school year actually started in August. It took me a while to make friends, but I eventually did. And I became friends with many kids in 6th grade. But I made better relationships with them in 7th and 8th. Now I have so many friends, and I like having to hang out with so many. School was hard for me when I started, and it was a lot easier at Francis Parker, so it was a pretty big change. I got to hang out after the first quarter, and I started seeing improvements in my grades. I had a lot of homework compared to my time at Francis Parker, and we switched from having every class every day to block scheduling. And I like block scheduling a lot more. I have much more time to do my homework, and I really like having 4 classes a day. I've learned a lot since I came to collegiate. Going to collegiate changed my life in a few different ways. I made lots of new friends, I learned a lot more, and I've made many great memories. Thinking back to my quote, I've tried to take new opportunities at collegiate and not let them go to waste. My experience at collegiate has made me a better student, person, and friend. Collegiate has taught me a lot, and I feel prepared for high school. I made a good decision to come to collegiate. First, I want to thank my parents. My parents have always been the best parents I could ask for. They have always shown up for my sports games, even if they were busy, and they take me to a ton of practices, to friends' houses, and other places. They devoted so much time towards me, and I'm really thankful for that. When I was playing baseball and having tournaments every week in the spring and summer, they did a lot of traveling, but they always managed to come to my games. Now that I'm playing golf a lot, they give me lessons with a really good teacher, and make sure that I have nice equipment. They signed me up for a lot of sports and clinics when I was younger, but I'm glad they did that. I met a lot of kids and got to feel which sports I like the most. I look up to my parents as role models, and I'm so glad they're my parents. Thank you guys. I'm in Mr. Beasley's advisory. I enjoy it. I'm with my friends, and Mr. Beasley lets us talk and have fun. I'm glad he's my advisor because of those reasons. Mr. Beasley is also my English teacher, and he is hard on us. Sometimes he'll yell at us, but not with the intention of being mean. He does it so we'll do what we are supposed to. It works for most kids. Mr. Beasley's class is hard, and we have a lot of work, but if you do what you're supposed to, it isn't that hard. Mr. Beasley's made me a better student, and I've learned a lot. We are required to do 20 minutes of vocabulary each class and 1 grammar lesson per class. Mr. Beasley's been a great teacher, advisor, and sometimes a pain, but I'm glad he's my teacher. Thanks, Mr. Beasley. Finally, thank you, Grandma and Granddad. You guys are so nice, and coming over to your house for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and for birthdays is always fun. Granddad, you make the best burgers when we come over for dinner. And Grandma, you make amazing cakes for people's birthdays. Thank you all for letting my friends and me come over to your pool in the summer. You all are the best grandparents I could have. And I love you guys. Thank you for listening to my speech.